He lost his job, then his marriage, then the house he thought he'd die in. For a while, he disappeared. Not physically, something quieter than that. Then one day, he walked back into a room full of people who used to overlook him. And nobody overlooked him anymore. He hadn't gotten louder. He hadn't gotten richer. Not yet, anyway. Something else had changed. Something in the way he stood. The way he looked at people without needing anything from them. There's a specific point where a man breaks completely. Not bends. Breaks. And on the other side of that break, something happens that most people never witness, because most men never survive long enough to reach it. The ones who do rarely explain it. They don't need to. You can feel it the moment you're in the room with them. This is the edge nobody talks about. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly where it comes from, and how to build it yourself, no matter what you've already lost. If you're new to this channel, we talk about the kind of strength that doesn't announce itself, the discipline, the silence, the mindset men used to carry before the world told them to perform instead. Hit subscribe if that's the man you're trying to become. Now let's talk about what actually happens to a man when he loses everything. Somewhere around age 45, life stops asking permission. It just takes. A marriage ends after 20 years, and the man who built his identity around being a husband suddenly doesn't know who he is at breakfast. A company he gave 3 decades to hands him a severance envelope and a security escort. A father watches his kids choose the other parent's house for Thanksgiving. A body that used to do anything he asked starts sending bills he can't ignore. None of this is rare. This is the second half of a man's life, told honestly instead of the way it gets sold to us at 25. And here's what almost nobody prepares you for. The loss itself isn't the dangerous part. The dangerous part is what happens in the months right after. The part where a man is tempted to explain himself to everyone, to justify the divorce, to badmouth the boss who let him go, to perform recovery for an audience that was never actually watching that closely to begin with. Marcus Aurelius wrote it plainly in his private notebook, never meant for anyone else to read. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Most men hear that quote and nod along without ever testing it. The men who actually rebuild are the ones who test it in the worst month of their life and find out it holds. Here's the psychology behind what you're actually watching when you see an older man who's clearly been through something and come out steady on the other side. Researchers call it post-traumatic growth, a documented shift where people who go through genuinely difficult loss don't just recover to their old baseline. They end up with a stronger sense of personal resilience, clearer priorities, and less patience for things that don't matter. It's not a metaphor, it's measurable. The man isn't pretending to be fine. Something in his actual threshold for what counts as a crisis has permanently moved. That's the edge. Not confidence built on top of comfort. Confidence built on top of proof. A man who has never lost anything is guessing about how he'd handle disaster. A man who lost the job, the marriage, and the house, and is still standing here talking to you, isn't guessing anymore. He knows exactly what he can survive, and people around him sense that difference, even if they can't name it. This is why he stops explaining himself. Explanation is for men who are still trying to convince themselves. Once you've actually walked through the fire, you don't need the room's approval anymore. You already have your own. Seneca put it this way in a letter to a friend who was struggling with exile. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Fire tests gold, suffering tests brave men. Read that twice if you need to. He wasn't writing self-help. He was writing to a man in actual pain, telling him the pain had a use. Here's the part almost nobody talks about, though. The rebuild itself doesn't look impressive from the outside. It's not a montage. It's a man in his late 40s or 50s getting up at the same time every day when there's no job forcing him to. It's him keeping his word to himself about the gym, the walk, the 2 beers instead of 6, when literally no one would know the difference if he skipped it. It's him going quiet instead of venting to everyone who'll listen, because he's learned that most people who ask, "How are you holding up?" aren't actually asking. Epictetus, a man who was born a slave and beaten so badly by his master that he walked with a limp for the rest of his life, taught his students one core idea. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. He built an entire philosophy, from a position most of us will never come close to, on the belief that a man's response is the only thing that was ever really his. That's not a productivity hack. That's a man who had every reason to be bitter, choosing not to be, and building something durable out of the choice. Now here's where it gets specific to what you're actually dealing with, if you're watching this at 2 in the morning because sleep isn't coming easy right now. The silence that other men mistake for coldness in a man who's rebuilt himself isn't coldness. It's conservation. He's not being cold to you. He's simply stopped spending energy on performances that don't serve the life he's actually trying to build. He's not angry at the world. He's just done narrating his progress to people who weren't there for the collapse and don't need to be there for the comeback either. That's the unspoken edge. It's not a technique. You can't fake it with a firmer handshake or a deeper voice. It's earned, and it's earned specifically by the thing you're going through right now. Whether that's a late-stage divorce, a layoff after 25 years at the same company, a health scare that made you reconsider everything, or simply waking up one day and realizing the life you built doesn't fit the man you've become. The men who come out the other side share a few things in common, and none of them are dramatic. They lower the number of people they explain themselves to. They keep 1 or 2 disciplines that are entirely theirs: training, reading, walking before sunrise. Not for anyone's approval, just because it's proof they're still building. They stop needing the old life back, not because they didn't love it, but because they've realized grieving it and rebuilding from it can happen at the same time. Marcus Aurelius, ruling an empire while burying children and fighting wars he never wanted, wrote himself a reminder that still holds. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. That's not a poster quote. That's a man telling himself, in private, that the collapse is not the opposite of the comeback. It's the first half of it. If you're 45, 55, 65, and you're sitting with a loss that feels like it erased everything you spent decades building, you're not behind. You're at the exact point where the edge gets built, not in the years of comfort before it. Right here, in the quiet after it. The world will try to tell you that you need to explain your comeback, prove it, post about it, perform it for people who barely noticed when you struggled in the first place. You don't. The men whose presence actually shifts a room the moment they walk in never had to convince anyone of anything. They just kept their word to themselves long enough that it became who they are. That's the whole secret. There isn't a second part to it. If this gave you something to sit with tonight, subscribe to the channel. This is where we talk about rebuilding without needing an audience for it, one honest video at a time.